we'd like to honor someone very special tonight as we hand out the Boulder County Film Commission's first ever Lifetime Achievement Award. Jerry Aronson was a professor here at CU for over 30 years, teaching film to countless students, many of whom have gone on to become successful filmmakers themselves. He himself was nominated for an Academy Award. Before we go on, raise your hand if you're one of Jerry's kids. Look at that. Very nice. Thank you for coming tonight. Let's see. Let's have our Deputy Boulder County Film Commission, Tom Parkin, come up and say a few words.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I was not one of Jerry's students. I have a different way of meeting Jerry. I need to go back to 1980-something. I'll just say something. I was 13 years old, and my dad was sort of in the film industry, and he said, hey, this guy's coming over to our house. He's bringing a tape, so go rent a VCR. We had to rent a VCR. We didn't have one. And so this gentleman shows up at our house and pops in a tape. And I'm thinking, it's like 87, so I just saw Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm into action movies. So he pops in this tape, and there's this guy talking. And he's talking. And he's a beat poet. And it turns out it's an early version, or an early cut, of the Ginsberg film, The Life and Times of Allen Ginsberg, the amazing film by Jerry Aronson. And that was my first introduction. That sparked the fire in me to be a filmmaker. I'm like, this is amazing. It's in my house. This filmmaker came to the house. So, and then my dad and Jerry went over to Denmark to run a film company, an animation film company for a while. So I was just like, oh, this is amazing. And then we kind of lost touch. And then about 5 or 6 years later, one of my best friends was one of Jerry's kids. And he said, hey, we're doing this little film, student film. Come be a PA. I'm like, great. So I show up, go up into the mountains somewhere, some sort of mining place. Like, actually, we need you to be an extra. So they put on a hat, give me a pickaxe. I'm like 19 years old. And then I'm in the background of all these shots. And then they say, okay, one more thing. We need you to go over here with this group of people and lip sync a song. I'm like, okay. So I went over there with a group of 6 other people, including Mr. Jerry Aronson. And we are now immortalized in the Alfred Packer the Musical, Cannibal the Musical together, sitting there singing a song about don't be stupid, don't go camping, they'll eat you. So there we go. So what I want to say is, now that I'm a filmmaker, every time I finish one of my own short films, I never feel like it's completely done unless I show it to Jerry first. I don't know, I'm 50 years old and I still have this sort of like, I gotta get his approval first. So I will always just send it over to Jerry, like, what do you think? And then of course you want to change everything, but it's too late. But anyway, Jerry, you have been an inspiration to me for almost 4 decades. And I don't think you realize how much you inspire filmmakers, even beyond your teaching and your illustrious career. So I just want to say thank you. I'm so glad and honored that you're here tonight. Thank you. And now I have the distinct honor of introducing one of Jerry's kids, Ms. Shay Schultz.
Thank you. And I have to sneak my husband, Matt Schultz, up here as well, because he's also one of Jerry's kids. So Matt and I, when Jerry knew us in college, were just little lovebirds dating here at CU Boulder in film school. And I was actually an honorary Jerry's kid because he retired before I was able to become a senior and do his class. But he let me sneak in and do the films with these fun older kids that I got to hang out with. And one of the things that has been so amazing, Matt and I now, we're co-founders of Mass Effects Media, does motion design here in Colorado, and we just opened up our new premium post finishing facility, 38th and Post, which we finished a year ago, and all same as you, of just like we're always reaching out to Jerry. And when I got a wild hair 4 years ago to make a film, develop my first feature film, my first call was Jerry, who has been with me all along to help me get the script where it needs to be, giving me the hard, good critique I need to be a better filmmaker even to today.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry. I think what it took to get us here from the basement of Mackie and Atlas into our careers, I think a lot of encouragement, support, and genuine friendship has contributed to that. So thank you for your commitment to us as students and to the wider body of filmmakers here in Colorado. I think we owe a tremendous debt to you for jumpstarting our careers and shaping us into the professionals we are today. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Matt and Shauna. One last person to speak about Jerry. You might know this guy, Jeff Orlowski, creator of the award-winning The Social Dilemma, Chasing Ice, Chasing Coral. This guy is like affecting change in our world, which is sort of what you aspire sometimes as a filmmaker. You hope you can change something. So Jeff, you want to say a few words about Jerry?
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you for that. Hi, Jerry. Love you. I moved to Colorado in 2007 after graduating from college, and I met Matt and Shauna when I first moved here, and Larissa and Mark, and a whole bunch of other people who were one of Jerry's students. And it was like, who is this guy? Like, there's this like lore, this local legend that was Jerry Aronson as a teacher, as a filmmaker, as a friend, as a mentor. And I never had the opportunity to be one of Jerry's students. I wasn't here as a college student. But as I was working on my first feature documentary, I'd gotten connected to Jerry, and Jerry came on to be a producer on that project, along with Paula Dupree-Pessman and an amazing local team that we worked with here in Boulder. I feel like I got the one-on-one Jerry mentorship, Jerry's kid experience going through that project. It took us 5 years to make that documentary. We spent 2 years working on it. We submitted 2 or 3 years working on it. We submitted to Sundance. We didn't get in. We spent 2 more years editing that movie. And Jerry was there with me watching. We probably made like 70 different versions of that movie. And sitting with Jerry and doing notes and getting feedback and trying to troubleshoot that. So without any doubt whatsoever, my career would not be what it was without Jerry and Jerry's incredible mentorship and friendship. So just a huge, huge thank you, Jerry, so much.
Thank you. Hey, thank you, Jeff. Jeff, come on up here. Tom. So on behalf of the Boulder County Film Commission, Jerry, this is the part where you start walking because I know it takes you a minute. It's our pleasure to award Jerry Aronson our very first Lifetime Achievement Award.
Well, first of all, thank you, Tom. Thank you. Shauna, thank you. Where are you? Thank you. And Jeff, surprise, and thank you. Okay. I love making documentary films, almost as much as I love teaching. A film needs a crew, large or small, which often can become a family. I always felt a sense of passion and joy making these films, my films. In 1974, for those of you who remember that year, 1974, Virgil Grillo asked me to start teaching production as part of the new film studies program on campus. We finally received a major in 1989, and I retired from teaching in 2008. So I was there 30-some years. But I continued working specifically on this important film with Jeff called Chasing Ice. My teaching methods were quite simple. Share the sense of creative joy and hard work by making each class, every class, into a supportive family. We would rearrange our desks, and many of you know this, of course, who were my students, into a perfect circle. And not an oblong, not an egg, a circle, okay? So everyone could see each other and become equals. We would talk about ideas for short documentaries, personal documentaries, based on our lives. Based on our lives to that point about people or events that had affected us in one way or another and whose stories we needed to tell. Great friendships formed as students dropped their shields and opened their minds and their hearts. This often led, with some gentle shoves now and then from me, gentle shoves, right, to great films. Our end of semester screenings in a campus auditorium for hundreds of families and friends was the payoff, with applause and cheers that all artists deserve and received. It was really quite wonderful. Thank you.
You're a Boulder treasure, Jerry. We're lucky to have you.